Everybody, welcome back to Trio Planet, the YouTube channel where we talk all things media. How is everybody doing? Hope it's doing well. And today, guys, we will be doing, because we missed, as you know, on both my channels, on both the Trio Planet and my horror channel, I decided not to upload anything, because brain reasons. I was going through massive creator burnout, which happens to the best of us. So I'm back at it. So today we're gonna catch up. Will's been busy with uni, so we didn't have time to watch. And I was out. We didn't have time to watch Ahsoka episode 5, and today was episode 6. So today we are reviewing episode 5 and 6. And as always, I am joined by my fellow co-host, Azteral.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, the first episode of Ahsoka, the 6th episode was titled The Warrior. That's right, innit?
Shadow Warrior.
Right. Episode 5 was Shadow Warrior. Episode 6 was Far Away.
Yeah.
Was Far Away. Right, so as always, Will do his famous breakdown. He's going to break down both episodes. Then we'll get into the review. We'll basically review them as an entire episode type of thing. So, Will, without further ado, take it away.
So, for those of you that missed episode 4, at the end, we got a little bit of a brief cameo from Anakin Skywalker. That does play a part in this big episode. And we open, I wouldn't say directly after the end, but a little bit after the end. Hera is on the planet with the red trees, looking for Ahsoka. She can't find any of them. She's with, obviously, Chopper and Jason, her son, and they find Hugh Yang, who is sort of having a breakdown, saying that he always tells them to stay together, but they never listen to him. And then we get a nice little title card after a bit of a song thing, and then we're back in the world between worlds. We have Hayden Christensen, of course, reprising his role yet again as Anakin Skywalker, in probably his best portrayal of the character so far.
I completely agree.
He says to Ahsoka that he's here to complete her training and activates his lightsaber, because that's Anakin for you. Ahsoka says that she's not going to fight him, and you'll never guess what, but he's heard that before in one of the greatest line deliveries I think he's ever done. He's very self-assured. I've heard that before. And their duel begins. We don't get to see much of it, though. We cut back to Hera, Jason, Chopper, Hugh Yang, and Carson Vera, who obviously is returning from The Mandalorian. Obviously, one of my favourite characters in the new shows. Love him. Jason senses something, aka Ahsoka fighting with Anakin, and tells Hera about it. They have a little bit of a meditation session. Hera makes some decisions, gets Carson to scope the ocean with his crew, while she does the same with Hugh Yang. We cut back to Ahsoka and Anakin fighting. Ahsoka lands a pretty good kick on him, and Anakin tells that he hasn't taught her anything. He cuts the World Between Worlds bridge out from beneath her, and she plummets into sort of a pink, misty area. It's got sand. You know, Anakin doesn't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, gets everywhere. And, what's that? Is that a Phase 1 clone trooper? It is. And is that Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars armor in live action? I think it is, and it's still Hayden Christensen. And wait, Ahsoka's running to the camera, but that's not Rosie O'Dawson. It's young Ahsoka. I don't know the actress's name, and I feel really bad because she does
I
amazing.
will search. It's the
She
same actress who
is,
played young Gamora.
yes, young Gamora in Infinity War. Anakin and her have a little bit of a discussion. We cut to a triage scene where Ahsoka is sort of looking at all the injured and
Her
dying
name
clone
is
troopers.
I'm hoping I don't butcher his name. Ariana Greenblatt or Greenblatt or something. I've said that wrong. I am sorry.
Well, Ariana, very well done. Um, Anakin comes over and talks to her. They have a little bit of an argument because she wants Anakin to be more serious. She's concerned that she's going to have to teach her Padawan how to fight and do war. And Anakin's like, "You either live or die." Starts walking away with Captain Rex, and as he walks away, he flashes between his Clone Wars Anakin and his original trilogy Darth Vader. Cut back to the real world, and Jason is still having his little bit of a meditation session. Hera's sort of inquiring with Hugh Yang about Sabine, Ahsoka, and Anakin to a lesser extent. Jason tells Hera and Hugh Yang that they need to get low because he senses something. And we're back in the flashbacks. What's going on? But we're not back in. Well, we are back in the Clone Wars, but we're not back in the start of the Clone Wars. Ahsoka's got blue lightsabers. This is the Siege of Mandalore, and we get to see a live action adaptation of the Death Watch commandos from Maul's reign of Mandalore. We get to see Ahsoka in her season 7 get up, and most importantly, well, second most importantly, we see some clone troopers wearing the Ahsoka sort of branded clone armor, and then obviously we get to see a dear old friend, Captain Rex, who is only in it for like 2 seconds and says like one line. And then Anakin appears and he's like, "I don't remember this battle," Ahsoka explains. He says that she's a warrior just like him. They have a little chat about legacy and about how Anakin is more than death and destruction, but he's far more powerful and dangerous than anyone realized. Anakin gets a bit mad at her, says that she hasn't learned anything, and that he gave her a choice, live, and he activates his lightsaber, but it isn't blue, it's red, or die, and he turns around, and he is Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, with his glowing red / yellow eyes. His skin's sort of paler, and he's got the scar now. They start having their duel. It's pretty big. Anakin literally like ground pounds Ahsoka through the mist into the world between worlds. He comes out from the mist and he transforms into Vader again for a split second. They have a little bit more of a duel. Ahsoka gets the better of him, holds the red lightsaber to his neck. She gets close to it and her eyes sort of turn yellow, and then she deactivates it, throws it away, and says that she chooses to live. Anakin steps away, his eyes return back to the beautiful blue, and he says that there may still be hope for her yet. He looks sort of away, it's a loud sound, Ahsoka turns, and then Anakin is gone. And then the world between worlds sort of starts shifting, and like the ground becomes full of water, and then Ahsoka gets covered in water, and Star Wars Theory thinks that someone leaked his script. Because, yeah, I have just seen that.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah. So, in Star Wars Theory's watch party for this episode, he saw this scene and said that someone must have leaked his script to Dave Filoni because it was in his script for his, like, Vader thing that is not even, like, in development.
Wait.
Yeah, he thinks that he's written Star Wars, basically.
Vader 2.
He basically thinks he's written Star Wars. Ahsoka's in the ocean, anyway. She gets pulled out by some New Republic officers, and she's sort of like delirious. She's sort of just saying Anakin's name over and over again. We cut to Jason, who looks happy. He can sense Ahsoka on the ship. She wakes up. She's got no headband on. It's disgusting. I hate it. It scares me. I won't be able to sleep tonight. She's no longer Ahsoka the Grey. She's now Ahsoka the White because she has risen. And she goes out. She gives Jason a hug. She does a little bit of psychometry, detecting the scene that happened between Bale and Skull and Sabine. Hera gets pulled away by Carson Teva, who, again, best character in the show. Also, forgot to mention, during the scene where Jason first detects Ahsoka with the lightsaber sounds, Kanan is mentioned by Hugh Yang to Carson Teva, who delivers probably the greatest line of all time, which is simply, "Sure, okay." Yeah, Mon Mothma's a little bit of a bitch now. She sort of wants to take Hera's general title. Ahsoka's figured out how to get to the thing. You've got it right, guys. It's Purgle time. We got on the Purgles. Ahsoka goes outside, communicates. They fly inside the Purgle's mouth. New Republic fleet arrives. They come out of the atmosphere. Carson Teva, again, epic character, distracting them. They're inside the mouth. They go past the fleet. Guess what happens next? It's hyperspace. May the Force be with you, Ahsoka. She's going to Peridia. End of episode 5.
On to episode 6.
And episode 6 is...
Try and abbreviate it because a lot happened.
Not as much as episode 5, I would say. I would say it's... We're safer with this episode. However, I'm currently trying to access the... There we go. I am now on episode 6. So, we pick up right where we left off. Ahsoka and Hugh Yang are inside the hyperspace lane of the Purgles. They have a little bit of a conversation about stories. Hugh Yang gets a bit personal, and Ahsoka sort of shuts him down and asks for a story of like the history of the galaxy. That's where Hugh Yang gives the line, "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." That's it for Ahsoka for a little bit. In fact, I think that's it for Ahsoka for that entire episode. We cut to Sabine inside a cell. She has a little conversation with Bale and Skull, who then goes and talks to Morgan Elsbeth and Shin. They arrive in Peridia. We find out it's the ancient home of the Dathomir witches, and also a Purgle like graveyard. It's got like rings of bones around it. It's a bit terrifying. They reach the planet. Sabine's pulled out of her cell. She's put inside a ship with Bale and Skull, Shin Hati, Morgan Elsbeth, and Bale and Skull. They land after a nice scenic flight at a sort of like spire / temple / Eye of Sauron building, where they meet the Great Mother / mothers, 3 Dathomir witches. They don't like Sabine because she apparently reeks of Jedi. She's escorted to her own little area. Balin and Shin have a little bit of a conversation. Balin's like, I'm searching for a power that is extremely ancient and powerful. Sabine tries to use the Force to escape, but there's a rumble. Oh no, she's going to do it. No, it's a Star Destroyer. It's a Star Destroyer in atmosphere. A very damaged Star Destroyer, I might add, in atmosphere. It's like hangar bay, sort of like envelops the spire, and a literal legion of like Japanese-inspired stormtroopers are there, plus a new character that we come to know as Enoch, who is the captain of Grand Admiral Thrawn's guard. Speaking of Grand Admiral Thrawn, he makes his first official debut. I can't remember the voice actor's name, but it is the voice actor from Rebels, which, as much as the voice is like spot on for Thrawn, I do have a sort of a problem with the way that he looks. It is not really Thrawn. He is sort of, and I don't want to say fat, but Thrawn is sort of very muscular and slim, and his uniform is very form-fitting. And also his face is extremely gaunt. We sort of have some of that, but not all of it. They have a little bit of a conversation about, firstly, the prisoner in Sabine Wren, and also beginning the cargo transport as he promised the Dathomir Witches. Thrawn then speaks with Sabine, who he lets go to go find Ezra. She gets a mount and her weapons back, and Enoch tells her to die well, which is a little bit of a dick thing to say.
That stormtrooper has a name.
What, Enoch?
You've just said it, I don't matter them. Don't know if you said it or not.
Shin Hati and Bale and Skull are sent to chase down Sabine because she'll be reunited with Ezra, but then they're going to die. She gets attacked by bandits. She fights them off. She uses a lightsaber. She's sort of a badass. Cut back to the Spire. Stuff's getting loaded. Dathomir bodies, I believe. Thrawn and Elsbeth have a conversation. Sabine's angry at her mount for abandoning her. She follows him after she forgives him, and she finds what I'm calling the genus of merchandise for Disney. A little like creature that has got like a hermit crab shell. It recognizes the insignia on her shoulder pad, and more importantly, recognizes Ezra, and a bunch of them appear. And they lead her back to their camp. But before we get that, we get Bale and Skull and Shin being like, she survived the bandit. And then the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because they're going to ally with the bandit, because they're evil. Sabine makes it to the camp of the still unidentified species, by the way. We actually don't know what they're called.
Someone said that they seem familiar from the Resistance animated show.
Something to do with that, then. Maybe some Resistance fans were like, whoa, 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 whoa. Sabine walks around the camp, and all of a sudden, she is reintroduced to a much older and no longer blue-haired Ezra Bridger. They have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. They have a few jokes.
I did say his hair is blue in the show.
Yeah, his hair is supposed to be blue, but it is not.
It's black. So is his. By the looks of things, Thrawn's hair in the show was bluish black, and so is Ezra's.
No, but Ezra. Hang on, Ezra.
I've seen the images, but online it says it does say that in the comics and that his hair is black, but in the show they chose blue.
It starts off as like a really, really bright blue, but then as you get to the end of the show, it is actually black. And I don't mean like it's the same color. I mean like it has gone from blue to black. They actually did change the hair color.
Might have just been that then. Apparently those.
So his hair is correct.
Apparently those turtle-like things are, from what this person said, that they could be a species called the Chaladi. I hope I said that right. The Chaladi. That's what someone's theory is.
Chaladi. Okay. Ezra tells Sabine that they're moving camp because they never stay in one place for too long. And then we cut back to Grand Admiral Thrawn and Morgan Elsbeth, who are told that a Jedi is coming, aka Ahsoka Tano, and Thrawn wants every piece of information on Ahsoka, because as we know, he is literally the Sun Tzu of the Star Wars world. Roll credits. Episode 6, over.
Right. Thoughts?
Episode 5, I enjoyed greatly.
Same. It was cool to see live action Clone Wars, to see Hayden actually do a really good job at portraying that version of Anakin, especially trying to get the mannerisms and that down of the voice actor and the animation going along with it. It looked really well. Ahsoka the young Ahsoka looked really fucking damn well, especially the actress playing both a really young one and then also playing an older one. Looked really well. It was very well done. Siege of Mandalore looked really fucking cool to see. The fight between her and Anakin, her getting the red eyes and all that looked pretty good as well.
I I like episode 5 more than 6. Episode 5 had a lot more oomph to it, and I'm not just talking about that because Anakin Skywalker was in it. I think it had a lot more in way of character development. Ahsoka actually developed from the stoic, not master, but judgmental person that she had somewhat become. She, by the end, she was smiling a lot. Again, Hayden Christensen, phenomenal as always. Really nice to see him get the chance to continue playing this character. And from something I've just seen, it was actually his idea for the way that I've heard that before was delivered. He actually suggested to Dave Filoni that it was a genuine recollection of him saying, "I've heard that multiple times already." Also, big props to Hayden for the fight, because as we know, he does train and do them himself.
Yeah, he did really well at. He did the Obi Annie as well. It was cool to see again. It was also cool to see him fight again as Anakin. We know that obviously he did do some of that in Obi-Wan's show, but in this I feel like it were a bit more epic.
So it's it. Oh, also Elizabeth Winstead. Firstly, incredibly attractive, and secondly, is nailing Hera.
She really is.
Like fully nailing Hera from a character point of view. It's a shame that not all the Rebels characters are being nailed as full.
So
Sabine is still iffy for me. I'm not sure if it is the actress's fault or if it is a direction issue.
I'm feeling like it's a story direction thing that they're trying to
well,
do.
They're
trying to have her be a catalyst.
The story has been fine. It has been the delivery and the like mannerisms and like the tone that has felt. Or every other character has felt great. It's just Sabine that has felt sort of stagnant. Like she had character development in Rebels from season 1 to season 5, but it feels like she's season 1 Sabine all over again, but with short hair. Baylan Skoll continues to impress in episode 6 as well.
What will you rate 5 before we move on?
5? 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I will completely agree. Episode 6.
Baylan Skoll obviously continues to impress in this episode.
Really does. He
Ray Stevenson is such a shame that he passed, because I would watch.
It's sad
10
to see
shows
that.
with him in.
It's sad to see that he won't be able to like see or hear the praise he's getting about playing this character, because he passed before the show even started. And
what else? Shin Harty has actually grown on me a lot. I wasn't the biggest fan of Shin in episodes.
I feel we've learned a lot more about her. It's like what he says. It's like what Baylan says. He says she's not a Jedi, but I feel like that would have been probably continued on as or Sith, because neither like is he or it. She's something else. She's like the first of a new generation or something.
He trained her to be more than Jedi or Sith.
Yeah, he basically trained her to be in the middle, in between,
The
basically
original
using both.
the original problem with Shin was that she felt more like the most side character out of all the group. Like Marok felt more important than Shin.
Mm.
They have remedied that, with Marok's death, but also the actress is doing quite well with.
And
I wouldn't say a naive student, but like
well,
a student that is still very much knowledgeable about the fact that she is learning.
it's that as well. She's questioning Balin,
Yeah,
which seems to be something he's encouraging. That he's like, ask me questions. He wants her to be curious about his plans and stuff like that. So like he wants her to be questioning him and like stuff like that. But also at the same time, she's learning and everything. But we know Balin's definitely up to something. Balin wants to end a cycle of tyranny and all this other shit. He wants to end this cycle. So what that may look like, we don't know.
what it entails, we also don't know. Um, Thrawn, yet again, Thrawn is introduced in that episode. I will need to see him again to make a decision, so I'll have to wait until next week before I fully judge him. I would say right now the voice is obviously perfect because it is the voice actor. However, the look of the character is sort of the direct opposite of like Ahsoka and young Ahsoka, who are so close to accurate that it's scary. He sort of, and Terror actually, he sort of looks, I wouldn't say bad, but I would say that the meme of him being Blue Elon Musk is still very much going to be a thing.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't look like Ron has been portrayed to look in all forms of media, be it games, be it comics, be it
I know we do say
descriptions from audio novels.
we do say that animation or whatever does emphasize massively.
However, when in law the Chiss are notorious for the features that Thrawn has been attributed, and then to see them not attributed to his live action portrayal sort of diminishes the purpose, I think.
Go.
I think it sort of diminishes the purpose of the adaptation because they had the option to somewhat CGI his look to make him look somewhat more Chiss, and they've chosen not to do that, which I can respect.
I can respect because like CGI obviously costs a lot of money.
And they are doing a lot with the CGI.
And they're doing a lot
like
with CGI.
A full Star Destroyer hovering over a spire is probably one of the
Star
coolest
Wars
sights
is always CGI heavy. And obviously Mandalorian kind of had fun with it by using the screen technology. But CGI overall is very heavy to use. It's always Star Wars is massive. So like they used a lot more CGI on. I'd say they used CGI in more important places to them than they did in non-important places to them. Like they tried to divide the CGI into areas that needed it and areas that didn't. So having Thrawn look the way he does is probably either they wanted much more of the actor's look in there and all that instead of CGIing over him versus whatever. Then Either that or they wanted to cut costs a little.
Yeah, however, apart from the look, he is flawless in every other category. He has the mannerisms, he has the cadence of Thrawn, even the like Night Mother, the Great Mothers of the where was I? Oh yes, the Great Mothers of the Night Sisters. They were also very, very good. They were as mysterious as I would expect. Sort of mystical beings to be. What else? New stormtroopers look pretty sick. That's about it.
Yeah, overall rating.
I'd give this one 7. 7 out of 10.
I am inclined to agree. Because I feel like, yeah, I think it did what it needed to do. It introduced the character of Thrawn, the live action one. It introduced the live action Ezra and all that. So I feel like it's done what it needs to do, but also done a bit more. So I feel like it was a good episode, just not.
I am hopeful for the ending.
I just feel like it's overshadowed a little by the episode before it.
Yeah.
So is that it?
I believe so.
Right, guys. Hope everybody did enjoy today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Go to the links down below to all of our social medias and all that good stuff. And we hope you guys did enjoy. And remember, may the Force be with you always.
Force be with you always.
We forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
Server etiquette!